under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Marion, would you take the roll, please?
Here. Here.
Here.
Yes.
Here. We move on to discussion information items. We have a FOIA request.
We have one FOIA request in regards to our attorney legal bills. That was provided, and then looking for the awarded contractor we sent that off as well to all the bids. There was only one question submitted, and there were no fees charged because we send everything electronically via email. So no fees were waived.
Okay. Thank you. Then we move on. We usually ask, we do have some visitors. Does anybody want to make statements at this time? Well, you do? Okay.
We got to read our
I have to
little-
read a script if you're going to do a statement. That's why I asked. The Board of Education welcomes and encourages the participation of its citizens in the business of the school district. There are 2 points in the meeting where visitor statements are scheduled. Citizens are welcome to raise questions or make comments at either one. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per individual and cannot be combined. Please note the Board of Education will not answer questions or engage in dialogue during visitor comments. If a person would like additional time to address the board, such a request should be submitted in writing 48 hours before the meeting to the superintendent. In addition, the Board of Education is interested in receiving suggestions and concerns from members of the community, and the individual may make a suggestion or express a concern at the district or the school office. All suggestions and or concerns will be referred to the appropriate level staff member or district administrator who is most able to respond in a timely manner. Each concern or suggestion shall be considered on its merit. An individual is not satisfied after following the channels of authority may file a grievance under Board Policy 2-260 Uniform Grievance Procedure. Neither this policy nor the Uniform Grievance Procedure creates an independent right to a hearing before the board. For more details, please refer to Board Policy 2-230, Public Participation at Board of Education Meetings and Petitions to the Board, and Policy 8-110, Public Suggestions and Concerns. So we'll start on this side. If somebody has like to make a statement, why don't you step up? Tell us your name and where you reside.
My name's Maria Kaplan. I reside in Brookfield.
Thank
My
you.
son is an 8th grader at S.E. Gross right now.
Okay.
We'll be here tomorrow for fresh orientation. And I am concerned about the transportation available, getting him to and from school for high school. I understand there is a PACE bus, but that is being canceled by PACE. So I'm looking to find out what the alternatives are besides walking to school every day, because we live on Kemen and it's very far in the winter. So I understand like a lot of people sometimes drive when you're older, but my son will only be 14, so he will not be able to drive, and then there's parking issues. So as an incoming parent, I really just want to know what is available for my son besides when it's nice out and he can walk. I have 2 friends here. One is an incoming parent also, and one is a freshman parent that have some comments also.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah, Maria pretty much said everything. I'm Shannon Towers. I will have a freshman next year as well. We were just concerned about getting to school, what options there are if the school's going to do anything. I mean, I know there's probably not going to be a huge busing system, but if they were going to do anything with PACE bus or what they had planned, if anything whatsoever. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to add to that? Okay.
I can provide a response to the parents, or if you can leave your names with Ms. Smetana, we can send you an email regarding what the board policy is and what's required by school code, and how they handle that with transportation. We are trying to work with PACE to do a modified schedule on that route that goes down Washington all the way to LaGrange Road. So we'll see if that plays out. But I can get a response to you because we're not allowed to respond tonight.
Right.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You just grabbed their email.
Are there any other comments? Okay, then we'll move on. Well, Gary will take over, right, Gary?
No, you
Additional
can continue. That's what it was.
Consent agenda.
Well,
Consent.
additional discussion items is first. At this point in the meeting, Board of Education members may request to add an additional discussion item. Gina?
No.
Anybody on that side?
No.
Okay, you are going to take over.
Yeah, I'm
aren't you?
taking over.
Okay.
The consent agenda, action items, approval of minutes. Can we get a resolution read? It's out there in the.
Oh, okay, got it. Resolved that the Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby takes the following action on the listed consent agenda items. Approves minutes from the meetings held on December 11th, 2018, open and closed, as presented and amended in the January 8th, 2019 Board Agenda Packet.
Second, before we vote, Mary Ann, do we have to say that the minutes in the open were for the public hearing and regular meeting and the part of the motion or not? Doesn't matter? I don't. Okay.
You can go for the vote.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mrs. King? Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes. Old business, action items, life safety items, capital improvements.
The life safety capital improvements, obviously the bid was renewed. We're working on planning a schedule with Mechanical Concepts and the architect and engineer. Mr. Smithing asked about possibly maybe having a diagram or a little history available on the website so that if people in the public wanted to see it. I think there was some information that was missing from the article that was provided from the landmark. The pool was installed between 2006 and 2009. This administration had not taken over at that time. Since I've been as superintendent over the last 8 years, we've been working through some issues with the level of air changes and the air quality in the pool. And those have been corrected, were corrected in 2015. However, the one thing that maybe got left out is regardless of those air quality issues that were addressed, the current engineer has already prepared us that every 10 to 12 years you will need to repair and replace the air handling unit. Now this is costing a slightly higher amount because we are doing some additional duct work and adding a second unit, which is why there is some additional cost. But I know there were some questions from the board to just make sure we clarify all this. But we will have to replace this unit probably every 10 to 12 years. And so I will work with the architect to see if there's any general plans or if I could provide historical information that we can maybe put on the web with the other construction documents. Again, all this is almost $600,000 of the $800,000 projected, or $780,000 in repairs will be covered by life safety bonds, which the board approved last school year. And so that was approved by the state. And so the additional cost will be covered by some of the savings we made on other life safety projects. If the state did not approve that as a life safety item, we still would have had to come up with that $780,000 to address the replacement of that unit and that redesign. So that hopefully will help clarify some of the questions. And I will work with the architect again to get a diagram maybe or some history.
I think the one important point to make is somehow we missed the boat as a board. I mean, it was before we're a continuing body. We weren't, I don't know that anybody was a member then, but the design was not really correct and it was installed wrong. And the reason, it didn't, like the opening in the roof was not lined up with where the opening in the air handling unit was, so it was not working right anyway, and it was overworking for several years before we finally figured, Kevin and Joe Hatchie figured that out with our consultants. And when they looked, so we wanted to make sure with the new design that none of those kind of issues would happen. And the other thing that our consultant said is really the way that the ductwork was set up wasn't the best for the design of that system, and that's why there's a little extra, I shouldn't say a little, I mean there's some extra cost this time to fix the ductwork, but the hope is in the 10 or 12 years, then all they have to do is slap the new unit
I think the
on
duct
there.
is gonna be better this time, the way
Yeah.
we're doing it.
Right.
Plus, we're going to two
Versus
units
the
instead of one.
Two
Right.
units instead of the one.
Right.
So could you remind me, from a percentage use, what percentage is used for the school and what percentage used by the community? What do you think?
I mean, we rent the pool out 6 days a week. Definitely 5 days a week through the Academy Bullets. That's almost year round, and we run swim lessons in the summer. We do all the park districts. We have an intergovernmental agreement with Brookfield and Riverside. Their summer day camps use the pool 1 day a week in the summer for exchange some of their field use. And we have the intergovernmental agreement with North Riverside for the exchange of field use for softball. So I would say, it's
So
heavily
it's
used.
probably more used by the community than it would be by the, would you say? I mean, you got the gym using it, right? You got the
PE classes use it.
classes, right?
Boys and girls swimming and boys and
But I mean,
girls.
it's probably
Water polo,
almost
yeah.
50/50, right? Used.
Yeah, it's heavily used by the community as
Yeah,
well.
all right.
We have,
And in exchange, we got intergovernmental agreements for the use of the various communities, right?
Yes.
Villages.
And the Bullets pay rent.
the Bullets pay rent, yes.
Yep.
And now, unlike a gym, you gotta keep the pool heated
Right,
and
it's
the air
gotta be going all the
circulating,
time,
whether
right.
anybody's there or not. The gym, you turn the
Right.
lights off and there's no additional
Right.
cost when somebody's not there. So
Right.
having using it doesn't really cost extra money on a swimming pool.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, I think that's really my main point of clarification, and I think that's what I wanted to make clear, just in case this isn't something that it's a one-time fix and it's good for 20, 25 years. With these changes, we'll still have to spend money every 10, 12 years, because that unit is used 24/7, 365. You can't shut it off. You have to, exhaust the air, you have to keep the temperature, the water temperature, everything has to be held consistent.
Right.
So,
We use our pool.
All right, go on to
Yeah.
school calendar.
school calendar, I'm asking for board approval tonight. This is the updated calendar. Remember, there is now 176 pupil attendance days. We'll address the pupil attendance days by modifying final exam schedules so that we are no longer having to take 3 90-minute exams on one day. That will give us the extra day of attendance for the pupil, or for the students, I should say, not the pupil. And we will also, we're going to be, as you saw on the calendar, we're moving 2 institutes to the start of the school year to make our institutes more effective, also with the hiring of a new principal. This will give that new candidate an opportunity to have 2 days to work with the staff before the start of the school year.
Resolved, the Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby adopts the 2019-2020 school calendar, providing for the opening day of school on Wednesday, August 14th, 2019, the closing day of school on Thursday, May 21st, 2020, for a total school term of 186 days, as presented in the January 8th, 2019 board agenda packet.
Second.
Go for the vote.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Goodchick?
Yes. Press Plus policy issue 99.
There were 2 questions submitted to discuss tonight, and that was just in regards to 5:250, is it? Substitute teachers, we are not accepting what they require, are offering in press packet under substitute teachers. We do not want to do temporary substitutes. The amount of work that would need to go into running a temp sub program is more than, you can only use them for 5 days, so we're not accepting that language. We do not require our subs to do a physical exam. We require our subs to go through West 40 and fill out the sub application. Once they're a certified sub under the West 40, which is the intermediate center for this West Cook district, then they have their sub certificate, we require a background check for anybody working with our students, but we do not require a physical exam. In board policy 7:290, They talk about, give me 1 second to pull it up. Distribution of approved medication. I did speak with the school district's attorney, 7:270, administering of medicine to students. This policy's been amended so that it includes the language we do have non-prescribed EpiPen available in the health office and in the trainer's office in the event of an emergency where an EpiPen injector is needed. We will not be adopting the undesignated asthma medicine. After discussion with our attorney, there is some liability issues that still need to be clarified with the state. And we are adopting the designated caregiver which is the administration of medical cannabis. And so that policy has been updated. And I thought there was a question on that. We do not, under 7:190, so students would be exempt from the any discipline if they're protected under the Medical Cannabis Act. But again, just to clarify, that only allows for a caregiver to come to school, in an extreme case, provide the medical cannabis, and then they have to remove it from the school grounds. And there is a required law for that under school code now. Did you have one
The other question was the change for the exemption from gym changing anything we're doing.
PE waivers, we are not changing anything what we're doing PE waivers. I re-added back in the language, so the one change that I said adopt with district edits is that it only applies for our students that are in marching band for fall semester, because our marching band does not march or perform during spring semester.
Right.
So marching band waivers are for fall semester.
So that it's the same as it's been.
Correct.
Resolved, the Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves IASB Press Plus Policy Issue 99 as presented in the January 2019 Board Agenda Packet.
Second.
Go for the.
Ms. Sierra.
Yes.
Mr. Smithing.
Yes.
Ms. Towner.
Yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Ms. Ruska.
Yes.
Mr. Rich.
Yes. New business, payment of bills.
There were some questions submitted on the bills. Scott, do you want to address those?
Yes. First question was submitted on Board Book page 97 under ISIC. That is our building and liability insurance. It came in at $109,837. This is approximately $12,000 less than last year's amount that we paid. On Board Book page 101 under Rosen Publishing, for Teen Health and Wellness Database for $795,000. This is the annual subscription cost to have this database available in our library for the students.
I think it's $795, right?
Yeah, sorry, $795.
And what's it
That's-
for?
For our students to have access to that database in the library.
I got that. What is the database for?
Teen Health and Wellness, so they can log in and research various things with
For health class.
Teen Health and
Oh,
Wellness.
okay.
Board Book page 107, Trans World Collection Accounts. Purchased collection accounts using the American Express card to receive the reduced price. These accounts will be used to assist with collecting outstanding fee balances for parents that are out there.
So it's a collection service.
Yes. Board Book page 109, Dave Monty, $400. The school purchased an electric guitar from him. Our band director did have appraisals on the actual guitar, and that was what it appraised out at, and he purchased it for the band program. Board Book page 109, David Weishart, for $990.17. This is a staff reimbursement for Mr. Weishart. He attended the National Conference for the Association of Career and Technical Education. All the costs associated are covered by the CTEI grant.
So we're being reimbursed for all that?
Oh, yeah, from the grant.
Okay. Any other questions?
There were no other questions submitted.
Resolved, the Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves the payment of bills as presented and listed in the January 2019 board agenda packet.
Second.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Gritchen?
Yes. Historical property resolution.
This is a formality that occurs every year. The board approves this resolution so that any properties that, under the Illinois Property Tax Code for historic buildings, not apply to taxes that are levied by the Board of Education.
Resolved, the Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves the historic property resolution that certain assessment relief provided by the Illinois Property Tax Code for historic buildings not apply to taxes that are levied by the Board of Education of School District 208 as presented in the January 2019 board agenda packet.
Second.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
And Mr. Gritchen?
Yes.
Mary Ann, on page 122, just update that Mr. Keene was not present tonight. I'm assuming that might have been left on the resolution from last year.
Page
Yeah,
122.
the actual resolution.
122, the one from the attorney.
You have the names
Has
typed
it
in it already?
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
We probably, we shouldn't have to say that, amend the
No,
resolution.
that's why
to do
we're
that.
allowed, the attorney said we're allowed to
Okay.
approve the general
Resolution regarding board member and employee expense, policy 2:125E3.
Again, this is a annual practice by the board. It became law last year. We followed the same resolution provided by our attorney. It just puts a cap on board member expenses as well as any staff member's expense not to exceed $1,500 in a school year,
Unless the board approves.
unless the board approves.
Resolved, the Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves the attached resolution from District Legal Counsel to be in compliance with board policies 2:125, board member expenses, and 5:60 expenses as presented in the January 8, 2019 board agenda packet.
Second.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Gritchen?
Yes. Educational tour?
Educational tour for Orcuses. This is was first read, and Kristen, there was a few questions. Can you address?
Yes, this is for Orcusis to go to the Regional High School Dance Festival at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, Wisconsin from March 15th through 19th. This festival occurs every 2 years, and 2 years ago RB went. It provides our students involved in dance a great opportunity to advance their knowledge. There's a variety of classes and performances throughout the time that's there. The trip is at no cost to the district. The total cost for students is $327 plus 2 dinners and individual meals if students want. So I know there's a question about what that cost would be. I would guess, probably roughly around $50 depending on, how much students chose to eat versus go out to eat versus bring snacks. And they also plan to fundraise to offset these costs for students.
Resolved, the Board of Education Township High School District 2, are we gonna, it's a first read, you want us to approve it?
I think we,
tonight?
does anyone have
Any
a position,
reason we
any further clarity? No, then let's go for that.
Resolved, the Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves the educational tour for Orcusis from March 15th through 19th, 2019 to Madison, Wisconsin for the Regional High School Dance Festival as presented in the January 8, 2019 board agenda packet.
Second.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Gritchen?
Yes. All right. We have, we're done with new business, matters for closed session, personnel, student discipline, individual student matters, sale or lease of properties, pending or imminent litigation, collective negotiations, school safety. This is an opportunity for visitors to come up and talk again. Any visitors want to come up? Having none, I'm going to read the
You want me to make the resolution?
and let's
You
get
gotta
a,
do the
now we
discussion
have
item.
discussion items that were requested. Do we have any?
No.
All right. Consideration of items for future meetings? Any on this side?
No.
On this side?
No.
No? All right, can we get a resolution to go into close?
Resolved that the Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, enters closed session for the purpose of considering appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, student discipline, purchase, sale, or lease of real property, probable imminent or pending litigation, collective negotiations, and school safety.
Second.
Wes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes. All right, beat you there in 10?
Not quite a record for this group, but